Good morning, everybody. How you guys doing? Welcome to Yaya's Morning Talk. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you so very much for joining me. Today's Friday. I missed Wednesday. I wasn't feeling well. I should have put out a community post, and I just wasn't feeling good at all, so I didn't move around too much. But I am here today, and so thank you so very much for joining me. It's a beautiful day today here in Florida. Sun is shining. I got all up early this morning and made me some juice. So while we talk and go over some things today, I'm going to be drinking on a green juice. And let's see, what did I make? I made celery and a little bit of cucumber and some apple in this one. So that's what I'll be drinking on while we talk today. So I hope you guys are having an amazing Friday. As I always say on Fridays, we made it through the week. So hey. So I hope you guys are enjoying your morning. This is a good one. Now, I probably could have put a little bit more apple in it, so it depends on if you like sweet. Then, I think I used one apple, and it was a small apple. It wasn't a big one, it was a small apple. And I'm okay, but I could have had a little bit more sweet go with it. But I love celery and I love cucumber. So I just took a half a cucumber. It was a fat cucumber, but I think I cut it into fours. And then I did use about a half a stalk of celery, chop that up, put that in my juicer. I just love it. Isn't that a beautiful color? That tells you something right there. That's rich, huh? Anywho, that's what I'm going to be drinking on this morning. So, if you're returning, thank you for returning. If you're new to the channel, thank you so very much for stopping by, checking in, and seeing what we got going over here on Yaya's Best Life channel. Again, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays is Yaya's Morning Talk, and we'll just be talking about a lot of different things. Feel free, please, to make sure you drop me a comment if there's something you'd like for us to discuss or something you'd like for me to research and just get some information about and bring it here on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday for us to, that's self-help, self-building for each and every one of us. Then drop that down in that comments. What we started talking about on Monday was a subscriber request, and that's what we'll be talking about today and Friday, and I have another segment to it that happened this Monday. So, because I want to take it in little small chunks, because I want to make sure that we just digest a little information at a time and not no whole big old, 30-minute session. I want us to be able to take little small bite-sized chunks so we can retain that information. So did I say subscribe? I think I did. So yeah, make sure you go ahead and hit your subscribe button. And you guys, make sure you thumbs it up for me. So let's go ahead and get on into, oh my goodness. Hang on, y'all. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I dropped my notes. See, I like to have notes because I don't want to talk random. Sure, I can talk about my experiences, and I try to incorporate that somewhat here in the information that we go over, give you a little bit about whether I've experienced this or not. But I really want to kind of do research and just, bring some really strong information to you that will be helpful for you to be able to use in your daily life if it's something that you feel like you want to make changes to. So, with all that said, y'all, Monday we started the conversation about valuing yourself and being worthy. So if you haven't watched that video, please go and watch that video. That was this week on Monday. And some of the things that we had went over about talking about our wellness, talking about our relationship with ourselves, and how in our own life we are a product of our environment. So our experiences of childhood and how we grew up makes us who we are today. So how we use that in looking at whether we're worthy of something or not. So, and so we also talked about being deserving, self-value. Do I deserve to be loved? Do I deserve to be respected? Do I deserve to have success? So those are all things that come into self, and whether you feel like you have self-value about yourself. And then we also did talk a little bit about self-talk, negative and positive for ourselves. And we talked about investing in ourselves. So that led us up to today's conversation, which is ways to value ourselves more. And I really like this. So there was the information that I had looked at. There's a lot of steps in it that give us information on things that we can do to that we can stop doing, and that we can look at in a positive light that makes us forward thinking to value ourselves more. So we one is I guess I kind of chuckle because at one time fit into this category. And this is comparing ourselves to others. So at some point in our life, you probably have, you know, and you learned along the way to stop doing that. And that is something that you want to stop doing, is comparing yourself to others. Because when you compare yourself to others, you're putting yourself on that negative spectrum instead of that positive spectrum about yourself. And that can be really harmful mentally on you, especially if that's something that you do day in and day out, you know, and it's like, you know, thinking that others are always better than you. That can take a toll on your mental health. So just know, it really doesn't matter what other people think, really, about you. It's important, most of all, that you nurture yourself, that you maintain speaking positive about yourself. And I think we talked about on Monday too about setting goals. So we can say all this stuff, but you have to set goals for yourself to say, this is where I want to be. You know, this is not just something that you just randomly speak words, you know, but you're not producing anything. This is something methodically. This is something you want to sit down, you want to think about. If you feel like you're in a position that, you know, you're not feeling good about yourself, you want to really sit down and talk to yourself. You want to put a plan, you want to have a goal, and you want to put a plan together to say, this is where I want to get. And when you stop comparing yourself to others, then that allows you the opportunity to focus on you. When you're spending time saying that someone else is better than you, or you're having a lot of negative self-talk, you're not focusing positive on yourself. So that's what you want to do. You need to think positively about you. And then this allows you to set those goals and set a pattern of life for yourself. So does that make sense? Drop it down in the comments. Let me know. You know, to have self-value, you got to put you first. And that's not selfish. We talked about that on Monday. That is not selfish. As I said on Monday, if you can't help yourself, you can't help anybody else. So you want to help yourself. You want to be positive. You want to be strong. You want to have strength. Because then those that are closest to you, you're able to see their needs as well. And you can help when necessary if someone else needs help as well. So focus on you. Focus on your own goals. Focus on pushing yourself forward. Okay, so then the other one, the second one, so that was stop comparing yourself to other people. Because when you do that, it doesn't allow you the opportunity to think about you. And you want to think about you first. The next one is setting boundaries. This is another one that I've dealt with in life as well, setting boundaries. Especially when you're kind of a giver. Or you're always there to help others out. And there's not anything wrong with helping other people out at all whatsoever. But again, if you're not helping yourself and you're always putting others first, something's not right. You really need to question yourself on that. Why are you staying in the background and pushing other people forward and not pushing yourself forward? Okay? So you want to set personal boundaries for yourself, because then you show that you have respect for your own self. Then that allows other people to have respect for you as well. And if you have people in your circle that don't respect you, that don't respect your boundaries, your values that you have, then maybe they shouldn't be in your circle. Because if they don't want to treat you the way that you want to be treated, then that shows a lack of respect on their part. So, and also boundaries allow you to protect yourself from being taken advantage of or being mistreated. So if you don't have those, that's just like if you have children. If you have no boundaries or whatever, they're going to do whatever, say whatever, do whatever, and treat you any old kind of way. So you got to do that for yourself as well. You got to set boundaries for yourself. And you got to show people how you want to be treated. And then you want to speak on that. So, just know you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't set boundaries for yourself. Okay, so then, I spoke on that people that don't respect your boundaries may not be ones that you need in your circle for a healthy relationship. For a healthy relationship. That's the words that I was looking for. It's not a healthy relationship. You can have all kind of people in your circle or whatever. They can treat you all kind of ways or whatever. But it's not healthy if it's not being reciprocated. If you're giving out respect and if you're helping others, but they're not showing you any kind of respect, and they don't really respect the boundaries that you have for the values, self-values that you have, then you need to question that relationship. And that's not just, that's all relationships in your life, with your spouse, with your mate, with your children, with your immediate family, with your extended family, relationships as a whole. Okay. And then the other thing was, and I like this as well too, it's important to identify self-talk. And we talked about this the other week too, self-talk. When you're talking negative to yourself, like, well, I really don't want to go to dinner with them tonight, but if I don't go to dinner, then they're going to be mad at me. Or I won't have any friends if I don't do it. That's negative self-talk. And we want to stop doing that. We want to stop we want to stop personalizing. thinking that you're to blame for everything. Everyone's going to be mad at me if I don't do this, that, or it's my fault if I don't do this, that, and the other. We also want to stop to everything is just a catastrophe, assuming the worst. You're having a conversation with someone and you're everything that the conversation ends up that you're always just thinking the worst about everything. I'm not interested in going to dinner with my friends, but if I don't go to dinner with them, they ain't gonna like me no more. Everything is a catastrophe. Um, the other one is filtering. When you heighten or magnify the negative parts. So say someone give you a compliment, you know, um, it could be anything. Let's see, I don't know, maybe they give you a compliment, but they also give you some constructive criticism. Like maybe it's at work, and maybe you gave a presentation, and they complimented you on how well that presentation and how well that information was. But they may give you some constructive criticism to say, hey, that one point that you were making, maybe you could have. But what did you focus on? You focused on that one point, that constructive criticism that they gave you. That's called filtering. You get a compliment, but the thing that you thought the most about was the constructive criticism. You didn't say thank you. I was really bad in my teenage years, early adult, about that, and I got called on that many times until I finally, matured up out of that. And it was hard for me to take a compliment, and I don't know why I felt that way, but something transpired, you know, that had to make me always feel like I was less than. And that's not a good feeling. But I can tell you this, that once you do come up out of that, and you learn to start saying, well, thank you, I appreciate that. And even in my adult life now, I've had on occasions, and like I said, this is something, it's just a life thing. You got to keep working on things and keep working on things. It's like, just say thank you. It's like, oh, okay, I'm tripping. Okay, so that it's the stopping and thinking about what you're doing. We're not perfect. And maybe we learned something along the way and we made changes, but it's always easy to kind of fall back into things, because being a product of your environment it's like having a tape recorder when you're a kid. The brain, you're recording, and you can always rewind that tape recorder. So you can always fall back into something. So you want to fast forward, okay, and keep being forward thinking. So let's not focus on criticisms or constructive criticisms from others. And let's be able to learn how to say thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, I will take that into consideration. Oh, I didn't think about that. Okay, but thank you so very much for telling me that I did a good job. Okay. And the other thing is, I don't know what I'm on, number 4, I think, polarizing. You only see the good. I mean, you only see things as good or bad. You only see things as good or bad. Meaning, you think you need to be perfect. Okay? And we live in an imperfect society. So you feel like you got to be perfect or you're a failure. And that's not true. We're always, always learning. Always learning. I love that. I love telling people that too. I don't mind saying if I done did something, if I've done something wrong, or if somebody tell me something and it's like, oh, you know what? I hadn't even thought of that. I hadn't even thought of it that way. You're learning. And that's exciting. Don't put yourself in a box where you can't continue to learn. Don't feel like that you're a dummy because you're 50 something years old or 60 something years old and you learn something new. That's what's exciting about life. Okay? Let's see, what else did I have? So I have some of these experiences of negative self-talk, but we also have the opportunity to start forward thinking. And that's what this video is about. Just to put it out there, to say, hey, let's all start forward thinking and being positive about ourselves. So that's what I had for today. I thought these were very, very good. Setting boundaries for ourselves. Stop comparing ourselves to others. Stop thinking a situation is only good or bad. Be willing to learn. Be willing to move forward. What else did I have? Stop the negative self-talk. Did I say that one? The filtering, I think I had. And personalizing things. To take a look at how we can value ourselves more. If we're doing these things, there's some questions that we can ask ourselves along the way. Am I focusing on more of the criticism? You know? Am I focusing more on the being perfect? And I found some information that is a lot more detailed in questions that we can ask ourselves along the way so that we can help ourselves have more positive self-talk. And that's what we'll be talking about on Monday. Okay? Because it was a lot more information. And so, like I said, I want to take things in bite sizes. So I really enjoyed this information. It really reset my mind about things to let me know, oh, hey, listen to how you're talking. You know, the first week when I started the Yaya's Morning Talk, we had talked about words and the words that come out of our mouth about ourselves and words that we use to others and how that can make a person feel. So that's what we want to do. We want to watch how we are self-talking. So yeah, you guys, drop it down in the comment. Let me know what you thought about this information. Once I put this video out, a lot of the main points that I made, I'm going to pop them up on the screen so to make it easy for you to kind of take some notes on some things if you find it's something that you want to remember and use for yourself. So, I'm loving my drink. Mm. Mm. So, that's it for today, Friday. I want you guys to have an amazing day and do something good for yourself. Say something nice to yourself. Go look in the mirror and say something kind to yourself. Okay? And I'll be back Monday with Yaya's Morning Talk. Saturday and Sunday, hubby and I will be doing mukbangs. So stop in, see what we eating on, check in on us, and deuces, y'all. Bye, y'all. Enjoy your weekend.